Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Hello, 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 everyone. Give me a second. All right, just one second, just one second. All right, all right. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. I see people are coming in here, so I'm assuming people are getting their notifications. How is everyone doing today? I know here it is extremely hot. Please stay hydrated. Oh, there's some new people in the chat. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, y'all. So this may get a little heavy, today, but again, I feel it's needed. As you guys know, I can do the mess, but I also can do the message. And I can talk about the healing and all of that stuff. So, first things first, I have added mods now to my chat. Okay. Hello, hello, everyone. So, we are going to keep it PC and respectful tonight because we are talking about a very serious topic. I hope that you guys all saw the interview with Monique. Definitely an eye opener for me. And it made me really think about the stages of grief and how, hi, oh, you guys, there's a lot of new people in here. Hello. Hi, you guys. Hi. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for taking the time out to want to hear what I have to say about this. April, you like, can I be a mod? I have two now. I think one of my other regulars is coming soon also. As of right now, I think 2 or 3 is fine. But as I continue to grow, definitely I'm probably gonna need some more mods, okay? So with that, you guys, just please be respectful because we're gonna get into this. It was definitely a great interview. It was an eye opener. And I want to talk about this because it seems like a majority now. I know I have other races of men and women who come to my channel, but because I am a Black woman, we're going to talk about us tonight. Okay. I hope you guys don't mind. Because what we saw in that interview, well, one, as you guys know, I actually spoke with Monique a couple of days ago, and we had a very open and honest conversation. And she explained to me that this interview was going to come out, and that she didn't mind talking about this interview. And I saw it. I was very shocked and even happy that she was very open to talk about certain things. And so we're going to discuss it. But I feel, especially in our community and as Black women, we are taught that we cannot grieve, we should not grieve, nor do we have time to grieve. And so I want to talk about that really quick before we really get into details about this interview, because there are a normal 5 stages of grief. Okay. We have denial, we have anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Okay. Those are the normal 5 stages of grief. Okay. However, there is a thing, and it's coming out more and more. It's called Black grief. And so our stages of grief are seen differently because of all the things that we go through in this world. So when it comes to our grief, instead of denial, we have despair. And so despair is a form of acceptance whereby a person of color understands that they may always live with the fear of loss. Okay. And then we have self blame. And we already know what that is, blaming ourselves for the loss or blaming ourselves for the guilt of things that happen to us. And then we have move to action, where, having time to grieve, especially for us, is like a privilege. So oftentimes we can't afford to have that privilege because we're Black and because we're women. So we don't have the luxury of having that time to process it. So we just have to keep pushing, take charge, and move forward. And then we have endurance. And that's pretty much how we must find the power to endure, without outside support and being forced to pull, ourselves together and continue to keep pushing. And then the last one, we have survival. Mind you, the regular stages, and I guess that would be for other people, is acceptance. Our last stage is survival. Interesting enough. And in this interview, there is mention of just surviving. And so with survival, of course, we accept somewhat of the new stage due to the economic hardships and stuff, however, that we have to endure. We have to keep pushing for housing, food, and different things like that, that because of a result of that, sadness, anger, and regret are emotions that typically we have to put to the side. Okay. We can't afford that, especially as Black women. So a lot of the times we are truly grieving and we're living in our trauma and have not healed from it. We're simply surviving, and we don't even realize that we're lashing out, or sometimes how we're coming across is due to the trauma and the grief that we have not healed from yet. Okay. And unfortunately, we don't get the grace that we should get in society, but then we also don't give grace to each other. And I'm just going to be honest. And I would probably say a lot of you guys in the chat would agree with me on that. We don't give grace to each other. So of course, watching this interview, again, Monique was very vulnerable about her loss of her daughter. But there were also other things that she mentioned that I wanted to actually talk about, and wanted to see if, you guys would want to talk about it and if she's willing to talk about it. So with that being said, let me just check one thing, you guys. Hold on. Just checking. Aw, thank you, Nene. So yeah, so with that, I want to dig into this. And again, respectful, maybe we can have some questions at the end. And then that way, but I feel like everyone on here has had some type of grief or some type of trauma, whether they want to admit it or not. So I know that everyone can have mixed emotions when it comes to Monique. But I think in this situation, if people are really open and honest and raw about their own trials and tribulations in their life, they can kind of understand a little bit of maybe why she has responded the way that she's responded in a lot of situations. And yes, this is definitely a safe space. And so yeah, we're definitely going to be just open and honest tonight, and we're going to go there, and hopefully, there can be some healing. There can be some healing, because we definitely we can't afford sometimes to have those moments to break down, because we're told that we have to keep going. And I think it's very unfair for us. But at the same time, that's where community comes from. And you find your tribe, and you find your sister's keeper, and you find people who will help you be able to be in those vulnerable spaces. So then that way you can push forward and you can grow. So with that being said, give me a second. Hold on. All right. All right, you guys, I'm just waiting for the guests to come up, and then we're going to get started. I know I usually give, my individual hellos, you guys. I'm so sorry. And I really probably won't be able to focus on the chat today because, we're about to go deep. Oh, yes. And please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. And we will get started. Give me a second. Yeah, it's I know people are saying that they like Monique better and stuff. Yeah, it definitely opened up my eyes to a lot. It did. You know, and as you guys know, I want women. Okay, hold on. Let me just post it in the chat. Give me a second, you guys. Having some technical difficulties. Everybody can see the link, right? But no one else clicks the link, though. Please don't click the link. Okay, so you guys can see it. All right, we're just waiting for our guests. But while we're waiting, put a 1 in the chat if you guys actually watched the whole interview. Put a 2 in the chat if you did not. Okay, let me know. Because I just want to make sure. I'm hoping, because it was like almost 48 hours. I'm hoping that everyone did see it. Okay, perfect. Ones across the board. Okay, perfect. All right, so here we go. Hey, Monique, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Well, first things first, how are you doing today? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Are we having some difficulties? Hold on. All right. I know you guys are putting ones in the chat. There are so many new people in here, you guys. Hi. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, it was sad. And I'm one of those people, believe it or not, I hate seeing other people cry. So when people start crying, I instantly start tearing up. Okay, you there?
Yeah, sorry about that. I clicked the wrong button.
No, it's okay. It's all right. All right. So you guys, we have Monique. She is here and she was willing to do an interview today about her actual interview from releasing grief. Okay, so everyone in the chat, like I said, please be respectful. We do have mods. If people get too out of line, you will have to go. Okay. All right. So, Monique, how are you doing? How's everything going today?
Today was a better day.
Was a better day?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, you got to just take it one day at a time. One day at a time. So, you decided to do this interview, which honestly, I was shocked because, you definitely were asked some tough questions. What made you want to do this interview?
Well, actually, I agreed to do this interview back in February, March, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happened that it was scheduled like way later, like back in June. Um, there was a time where I kind of like changed my mind about it, but after, speaking to friends of mine, it was like, you doing this, it could help somebody else grieve because I didn't have anybody to help me through my grief. So
Hmm.
I thought maybe like sharing my story, it could possibly, help someone else.
Okay. Okay. And so, did you feel comfortable during the interview process, and how did you feel after the interview process?
I felt comfortable doing the interview. Carolee, she's such a sweet, like wonderful woman. Like she was so sweet. After I did it, I would say I definitely went back into a depression state
Hmm.
because I haven't fully vocalized my emotions to anyone or, basically like tell how I truly felt about the situation. Um, so it definitely put me back in a bad mental space after doing that interview.
Okay. You said the interview was like in February, March.
No, I agreed to do it back in February. The
Okay.
contract and everything was signed back then, but
Hmm.
it happened to be scheduled like in June.
So
So
just this June, you just did this interview.
yeah, I did it back in June. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. So so in other words, you said you kind of felt like you went into a depressive state after that, but
Mhm.
you're feeling better now as time goes on about the interview.
Well, after it was finally released, because I saw it before it was put out,
Hmm.
so I definitely went back into that space again because that's just so triggering for me to like watch it and like live through it all over again. So it's just been really an up and down roller coaster for me.
Right. And that happens. I don't definitely when you're dealing with grief, trauma, it is a up and down roller coaster. It is. So like I said, you do have to take it one day at a time. Okay. Now
Mhm.
we're gonna have a conversation, of course. I'm gonna ask you questions. If you do not feel comfortable with asking certain questions or answering certain questions, you can just respectfully decline. Okay.
Mhm.
So with that, you start off about how you found out you were pregnant. You were actually working two jobs at the time when you found out that you were pregnant. And at that time, the father of your child, you guys were not together. I guess the best way to say it is that you guys were kind of like what, homie lover friends? Is that the best way to kind of say it?
Yeah, I would say we were homie loving friends because we really truly started off as friends first. Like we went to high school together. It didn't turn into anything more until I think I was like 19, like 18, 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he went away to college and he came we used to see each other, when he used to come back from school. And um, we were just really good friends. It wasn't anything we wasn't serious or committed or anything like that. So
Okay. Okay. And then you found out you're pregnant, and you at that point, like you said, you were a ball of emotions. You didn't really know what you were going to do, but the first person you told was him.
yeah,
And he said, you guys are going to work it out. You guys are going to co-parent. However, things took a turn when the ex came back into the picture. Is that correct?
correct.
Okay. So, based on the interview, you actually stated that you guys were pregnant at the same time. So, at that time, when you found out you were pregnant, she was already pregnant. What? How many months do you think she was already pregnant?
So his ex girlfriend, like we all went to high school together. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we all went to high school together. We all knew of each other. So I don't know if you remember.
Uh-oh. Mo, your phone went out.
Is this better?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if you remember a while ago, like this was like in the very beginning of the show and everything, like you were on Gio's chat or whatever, and then some girl was like, "Oh yeah, I know Monique, we went to high school together and she never had a man or something like that.
I remember somebody in the chat said that. Okay,
That was
so
her.
that was her.
Yes. So
Oh.
we all went to high school together. So it was like, so I was dating him first or whatever, and we were off at some point. They were in a they got in a relationship. They broke up, and then me and him, we had started dealing with each other. So when they broke up, she was pregnant. I think she I don't even I know she was like far enough for her pregnancy. I think she was like maybe, I don't know, like 5 or 6 months at that point. I'm not exactly sure.
Uh-oh, Mo, you keep going out. You keep going out. Stay in one place if you can, please. You there?
Yeah, I don't know why my phone keeps timing out. Like it keeps.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, but go ahead, because the last part you pretty much said, but go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So they broke up, but she was pregnant. So me and him, we started back, dealing with each other. And once I told him that I was pregnant, it was no issue. It was fine because he has kids of his own. He's a good father. Like we never had any issues, no arguments, no drama, no anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, okay, cool. So I didn't really care whether he told her or not because it wasn't her business.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me, like, they had got back in a relationship, they were together. So I was like, okay. So he was like, he was gonna tell her after she had the baby because at that point I think she had a few more months and he didn't want to stress her. I said, okay, cool, I don't care. Like, I don't care. So somehow one of his other ex-girlfriends found out because I had posted it on my Facebook that I was pregnant. So the ex-girlfriend ended up telling the girlfriend because whatever, it was just like a whole triangle with all three of them because the ex-girlfriend at the time got mad because he cheated on her with her. So she ran back and told the girl that I was pregnant by him. So she came asking me at that time I felt like, why are you questioning me?
Right.
So once she came to me, she asked me, and then it turned into a drama situation. I told her, yeah. So at that point, it was, drama with them. They were going back and forth. They even broke up at some point. So he admitted to her and was like, yeah, she's pregnant by me. Like, I plan to, raise my baby. I don't want no drama, no nothing. She got back in a relationship with him, so I'm guessing she was cool with it. But she really wasn't because all of a sudden I start getting like hate messages, hate phone calls, text messages, and it just turned into like a whole crazy mess. So it was just a stressful thing,
Right.
to be honest.
And so this was back in because this was really 2016 that all of this was really occurring, correct?
Yes, it was in 2016.
2016. And so you're telling me that in 2023, she is going into YouTube pages and actually talking about how she knows you and you haven't had a boyfriend. So my question is, are you still in contact with the baby daddy, or why is she still so pressed about that situation that happened back in 2016, 2017?
I have no idea because I mean I don't even talk to him anymore. So it's like, why are you checking for me on YouTube channels? Like, why were you
Right.
watching me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird.
Right. Okay. And so do you think he blamed you for the way that it came out and that's why things started shifting, or why do you think things shifted, especially if he came clean to her and even said, I'm going to raise this child? What do you think created the shift?
I think he blamed me because he felt like I should have never told Facebook. It's like at that point, nobody even knew that me and him were messing around. Like, yeah, my my sisters knew that I was messing around with him. Like, people didn't know I was messing around with him until I actually got pregnant. Like, nobody in high school knew we were dealing around. We were
Mm-hmm.
messing around. So he just felt like, I don't know. I think he was kind of like upset about it because he was lying to her at some point.
Oh, and so you aired it out where other people put two and two together and figured out it was his baby.
I didn't air it out on Facebook until I she knew about it because she came to me about it, and I told her, yes, it's true. We were friends on Facebook, all of us. We were all friends on Facebook at this.
Oh, okay. But you said that another girl told the other baby mama. So in other words, because even though you guys weren't, that no one knew, somehow that other girl figured out it was his child that you posted about and told her. Correct?
Right. She knew we were messing around at the time. So
Got it.
it didn't get messy until when I after I posted I was pregnant, the girlfriend asked me about it. I saw her, yeah. She started posting subliminal things on
Mm.
Facebook about it.
So, in other words, this is a situation where I've said before a woman goes after the other woman versus checking the man in the situation.
Exactly, because it wasn't like he was cheating on her with me. Because at the time when they got back together, we wasn't even messing around.
Got it. Got it. Now, you said he was stressing you out because you even mentioned before that he was stressing you out during your pregnancy. Like, what can you give examples? Because I know you said that you were getting messages from her, but how was he in particular stressing you out? Like, what was he doing?
In the beginning, he was just like, I'll be there for you. We could co-parent. He don't want no drama. Okay, cool. But once the situation got messy with me and her, was when he was just like, you know what, I can't deal with this. Call me when you go into labor. Call me when you have your baby. Like, I'm not going to no doctor's appointments. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Like, my focus is my girlfriend and then the baby that she has on the way. So he put her as a priority opposed to me.
And so, was that situation and that rejection is what stressed you out?
Yes, because we used to talk literally every day, all day. Like, he would call my phone or text my phone from literally 6, 7 o'clock in the morning to like late
Mhm.
at night. We would literally just argue like all day long. And then she will start like messaging me like, it'd be like Thanksgiving or like um Thanksgiving to go by, she'd be like, yeah, enjoy your holiday by yourself. I'll be with my family, like doing
Stuff like that.
stuff
Yeah.
like that, So me being pregnant at the time, it was just like me thinking to myself, like, dang, I'm gonna be a single parent. Like, this is not something that I wanted for myself because I grew up in a two-parent household. Like, my mother and my father, like, they married, they're together. That's something that I always wanted. So I just felt like it just came crashing on me like, here I am, I'm gonna be having to take care of this baby by myself.
So you were the reality is though you were heartbroken. Is it safe to say that you were heartbroken about how that situation happened and then at that point you realized that you were going to be doing it on your own?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, look, that's reality for a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's reality. So I think we also feel like we can't be honest when our feelings are hurt because we're told that we have to be strong all the time. He pretty much left out, and you thought that he was at least, if anything, going to be a good friend to be there for you, and he wasn't. So therefore you were hurt, and that is totally understandable. And was this his first child that he had with this girl? Was that his first child?
He has three other children. So she was the
Even
fourth.
before her?
Yeah, he has three other children. He lost one of his other sons to a drowning, and then it was her child, and then it was mine.
So he's been through this before. So this was not his first rodeo as far
Right.
as okay. So this is like so in other words, he knew what was going on. He
Right.
knew what was going on. He knew how to handle a situation in general. So it sounds like that because he lost control of the situation, he decided to pretty much punk out, so to speak, and decided to stay on one side of the situation versus accepting responsibility on all ends. That's
Right.
what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to because you've even said now what she said in the chat. While I don't understand why she was in the chat, you have also stated that you have never had a boyfriend before. Is that correct?
I've never had a serious relationship. I was on and off with a guy for 7 years.
7 years.
But that wasn't like we weren't like committed. Like that wasn't my man. I wasn't his girl. Like we was, it was like we had our on and off periods. It'll be times where he'll be like, okay, I'm ready to settle down. But it's like I knew he wasn't. Like I really didn't feel comfortable like going all in with him. So that's why it was kind of like an up and down, on and off 7 year thing.
So 7 years. So
Hmm.
is it safe to say that you're scared of commitment? And if you are scared of commitment, why are you scared of commitment?
Honestly, I'm really scared. At that time, I was scared of getting hurt. I didn't want to give a man that much control to hurt me. So I never allowed my feelings to get involved. It's like, yeah, we could be friends, we could hang out, we can do that all day long. But me falling in love and me allowing myself to open up like that, I didn't want to do that.
Now, here's the thing. The reason why I'm asking that is because typically when people feel that way, it's because there has been some type of grief or hurt or trauma in the past, which is why they get those walls up because they don't want to feel that pain ever again. So while you haven't had a boyfriend, have you felt that pain of your heart being broken or rejection or something of that nature that made you so guarded to where you didn't want to have a boyfriend?
I was just mainly like looking at the people that was around me experiences.
Yeah, here's the thing though. While we can look at people's experiences around us, we also, especially when we are young and we are lively, we also have that mentality sometimes where that won't happen to me. So I
Hmm.
guess my whole thing is a lot of the times when we have that guard up is because we have had traumatic experiences. I rarely see anyone who hasn't had any traumatic experiences, any heartbreak or anything like that, have a guard up their whole entire life because they're afraid of getting hurt unless they've been hurt before.
I would say I definitely was violated when I was younger.
Okay. Okay. So because of that, is it safe to say that you've had a guard up since then?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So did you tell anyone about that or did you keep it to yourself?
I kept it to myself. One person was the only person that I've ever told about that situation.
Was that even now was like you telling me how many people knew beforehand? Did other people like your family and friends know or
No, Derek was the only person that I ever told it to.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, if you don't mind me asking, around what age did this happen?
I want to say maybe like I was 17, 18.
17.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so very young teenager. And at that point, you definitely felt like you couldn't do it, of course, because you were guarded because you were violated.
Mhm.
So okay. And so let me ask you this. I'm a just jump around. You mentioned you have five sisters. Where do you fit? Because I know with the sisters that were on the show, I know you're older than them, but where do you fit as far as all of the sisters? Are you the oldest out of all of them?
No, I have two older and then three younger.
Two older and three younger. Okay, so you're a middle child. You're like in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a couple of things we're and like I said, we're going to jump back and forth. There's a couple of things that definitely and again, I appreciate you for being willing to open up to me, especially me, because you know we have had our history. So I appreciate it. And clearly you feel like this is a safe space to share that. So thank you. And I'm sure there are people who are going to listen to this and they're going to have the same experiences and try to heal from it as well. Um, you mentioned that, you have some resentment when it comes to your family and your
Mhm.
family not being there. You mentioned you come from a two-parent household, um, but at the same time, you also said that your family isn't really emotional. Okay, and that is that correct to say they're not emotional?
Right. Mhm.
Okay. Do you come from a family that has a religious background, or what is like, are you guys Christian or anything like that? Or do you guys have that at all? Or what's
Well,
your faith?
we never went to church growing up, but my grandmother, she was very religious, so it was like anytime like we were, spending the weekends at her house, she definitely used to take us to church. But in our main household, like we didn't go to church or anything like that. But as I've gotten older,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I start learning God and who he, really is, and I start reading the Bible. But as growing up, like that wasn't too heavy in our household.
So you didn't have like a solid faith foundation in
Right.
your household. Okay.
Mhm.
And so one thing that you mentioned is that you guys aren't emotional. Do you feel that in your family, when things do happen, it's suppressed and it's kind of just y'all deal with it internally and no one really talks about it? Do you feel that that's what happens in your household, in your family?
I think so. I think we don't really know how to deal with our emotions because Calandra, she lost the baby at a really young age. Well, not a really young age, but she lost the baby before I did. And my oldest sister did too. And it was like I was young at the time, so it was like we really didn't know like how to comfort her or like what to do or, how she's feeling. So we just didn't vocalize our emotions like that.
Uh-oh. Mo, you went out. You there? Okay, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, your phone kind of went out, but the last thing I heard was you guys never really knew how to vocalize your emotions.
Right. Uh-huh.
So, and I'm typically it's because of what you guys saw with the man and the woman in the household. So I'm assuming your parents aren't really ones to vocalize emotions also, so it kind of trickled down to your siblings. Is that accurate to say?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So, because I know that you mentioned that you guys aren't really emotional, but in my personal opinion, if I can be honest, I think you are emotional. I think that you do have a big heart. I think that you guard it because of the things that you've been through, but also you at times when you probably wanted to be emotional, since you grew up around family that didn't know how to be emotional, you suppressed it deep down inside because to show emotions probably would have been seen as weak or probably would have been seen as, weird or whatever the case may be. So, do you feel like, especially at the time when you were going through things, especially with you being violated and then also you losing your baby, that you you were emotional, you needed help, but at the same time your family couldn't be that source because of the fact that they kind of wanted to not deal with it because they've had that type of familiar pain, like because you said you have resentment towards it, but it sounds like they have had the same type of pain. So I guess, what do they, my main thing is, what does your family view you as? Like, what do they perceive you as when they think of Monique? What do they think of Monique? So meaning, like, when they see you, they say Monique is this, Monique is that, that type of sister. What do they think?
They perceive me as a really like the strongest sister.
They
Like they,
perceive you
oh,
as that.
yeah, they view me as the strong sister. I'm the one, like, if they ever need anything, like they know they can call me. Like I'm the dependable one. I'm that sister.
You're that sister.
Mm,
Now, I'm a firm believer because I have family members, they perceive me as one way, but that may not necessarily be my reality. Do you feel the way that they view you is your reality? And if it's some of your reality and some of it is not your reality, if you could tell them who you really are, what would you tell them?
I can say I really am a sensitive person. I feel like I am strong, but I also have weak moments.
Hmm. So, in other words, you're strong, but at the same time, you also need people to check in on you to make sure that you're okay.
Right. Uh-huh.
Do you feel like at times you push people away because of the things that you've been through?
I say I try not to get close to people because of what I went through.
What about family though? Do you feel like you push them away sometimes?
As far as like my immediate family or like cousins and like
We're talking strictly immediate. We're talking
my
about mom, dad, sisters.
um I would say when I told the first time I told my sisters that I felt some type of resentment was a few days before I did the interview. And it was
Wow. So that was like 5+ years and you just held that in and you told them before the interview?
mhm.
Okay, go
Was
ahead. Go ahead.
all
I'm sorry.
hell
Go ahead.
it was like all hell broke loose. Like,
Really?
yeah, they were upset with me. They was upset that I felt that way. They were upset that I even did the interview because they felt like it was gonna be like a bashing session, and it's like that's not what it is. It's just mainly just me telling my story and speaking my experience. So it it definitely brought a little guilt to me. You know, I felt a little guilty by saying that I resented them, but that's just how I felt at the time.
Okay, this is sounds very familiar. Don't feel bad because unfortunately, when it comes to families, especially families who have their own trauma and they don't know how to process stuff, a lot of the times, and I think even you have experienced this as well, instead of people receiving it, they get defensive and they get angry. And it's because, like you said, you guys have not learned how to process emotions. But and I've experienced that myself. Like I've experienced that with my own grandmother. And grandmothers are supposed to be the matriarch and the one that you can always go to. But again, if they have their own trauma that they haven't dealt with, it is very hard for them to accept certain things. So but to actually feel bad that you said something, absolutely not, because you had to get it out some kind of way. It took you 5 years. You know what I mean? So you saying that, but it doesn't sound like they're willing to receive it. But the thing is, you have to get it out. So are you willing to talk to someone about all of these feelings at this point? Like, where are you? Because one thing about therapy is that you are going to have to talk about dark times. And I know that can definitely, make you feel a certain way when you have to talk about things that you really don't want to talk about. But again, you got to go through that storm to be able to see the sunshine. So if you I'm a firm believer if you can't get it from the people that you're close to, go to someone that you can speak to be able to talk about these things and how to heal from it. So are you at that place where you're willing to talk about that stuff now, or where do you feel you're at?
I don't know, because after that interview was posted, it's just like I just it's just really hard for me to just open up and talk. And it's like when I finally do express myself, it just puts me in a really bad space.
Mo, but here's the thing. The fact that you're willing to open up now, you are taking the first step. You do realize that, right? Well, this is not even your first step. This is the second step because you were willing to do an interview on camera. So you're trying to work through it. You are taking that step, and I commend you because there's people who live their whole entire life and they don't they just keep it inside. So the fact that you're willing to open up like this, you're doing what you need to do to heal, because you got to heal. You got to heal because right now it sounds like you're existing but you're not living. Is that safe to say? Do you feel like you're just existing in this world, but you're not living?
I would say that.
Yeah. And existing pretty much is just a in long survival mode. That's what existing is. But living your life, you know what I mean, is like you know, because at one point you seemed to be very vibrant. Like you said, you were working two jobs, you were active in this world. What is your day-to-day like now? Do you feel like it's definitely drastic from 2016 or so, or 2015 to now? Like, what is your day-to-day situation right now?
I would say beforehand, like I was active. I used to go out. Like I literally worked two jobs, 6 day a week. I used to work one job from. I used to work the hospital from 7 a.m. to 3 o'clock, and I used to work at Walgreens from 5 to midnight. I did that every day, and well, for at least 5 of those days. But
Uh-oh, Mo, you went out again.
for at least 5 of those days, that was my schedule. But it's like now I don't have like any type of like schedule, no structure. Like it's just basically we'll just see how the day goes type of thing, you know? And it's like I'm not used to living my life like this. And I mean, since when? I want to say for the past what's today? Wednesday? For the
Mm-hmm.
past
Well,
4 days.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so like for the past 4 or 5 days, it's literally been hard for me to like get out of the bed because I just been
Mo.
depressed.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. I know it's difficult, but one, and I can send you some I can send you some references. There's actually an IG page where they literally have a directory of Black therapists, because sometimes it's good to speak to people who look like us, because again, I'm a firm believer, while we have stages of grief, Black grief is on a whole nother level. And sometimes it's just easier to talk to someone who looks like us and who have maybe gone through some of the same experiences. Like, as a Black woman in this world, we have a different experience. We just do. But honestly, I've been there. I've been depressed. And I realized that I was just literally not doing anything. And I had to find the strength to be able to start speaking on it and to be able to start that process. The fact that you are speaking on it, yeah, you're getting to that point where you want to start that process, believe it or not. Because again, like you just said, 5 years, you just spoke to your family. You didn't tell anyone about how you were violated. The fact that you're speaking on it, you're ready for change. You're ready for change. Believe it or not, you're ready for change. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't speak on it.
No, I definitely am. Like, I just feel like I just need a change.
Yeah, and someone actually says in the switching to a black female therapist literally changed my life. Yeah, it does wonders because you're speaking to someone who's been through maybe not everything, but they know what it's like being a black woman in America. So, you definitely, the fact that you're even talking about this stuff, I would say you're at that point. You're ready for it. Because if not, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. And what has made you get to that point? Do you think honestly that interview is what really made you say you need to make that change? Or what do you feel like your tipping point was? Because a lot of times for people, ignorance is bliss, or just staying in delusion is bliss. What do you feel was that tipping point where you felt like you need to be more open? Like, because at this point, the fact that you're doing that, what it shows that you want to change. So what was the thing that made you say, you know what, it's time for it, it's time for me to talk about this stuff?
I would say actually leaving my last relationship and actually being alone and finally like processing all of my thoughts and feelings, because at that time, like, I was, we were together for 5 months straight. So it was like, once, we weren't in a relationship no more, like, I had to process those feelings and then process this. It's just like sometimes things can be my trigger points. Like, if I watch a movie on TV and I see like a baby pass away or something like that, that triggers me.
Gotcha. And so, yeah, it's definitely, I again, I know when it was time for me and I knew change, I wanted to take that step, is because I started being very honest and transparent about my feelings, that I just never did that before. So the fact that you're willing to do that, yeah, baby girl, you ready for it. You're ready for it. It's steps, it's baby steps, but at least you're taking steps.
Hmm.
Okay? At least you're taking steps, because remember, at one point we never saw this side of you. You know what I'm saying? We never saw the side of you. So the fact that you're willing to do this now, and it feels genuine, because no, I mean, look, I know there's some great actors and actresses out there, but I don't get those vibes from you. Like, you truly are at your breaking point, because you're starting to show things that we've never seen before, as far as you being able to say, look, I'm hurting. I'm going through some stuff right now, and I need to make a change so I can live my day-to-day life and be able to, live and be able to do the things that I used to do and things that I used to enjoy. But honestly, it sounds like you've kind of been feeling this way even before the situation with your daughter. That was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Is that safe to say?
What, as far as me wanting to open up?
No, as far as you were going through stuff before your child. You've been through stuff before your child. It's just that when that happened with your child, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, as far as your depression. Because I know you mentioned that you went into drinking first thing in the morning all the way to the evening. Like, did you have those type of situations before where you were drinking like that before, or that only happened when you lost your child?
No, that only happened after I lost my child. Before then, I used to go out almost every weekend, just have fun, like living my life like any other, single person.
But you still had some things that had happened to you before that you never dealt with. So
Yeah.
you had suppressed, that's what I'm saying. You had suppressed stuff that you didn't even know you had to deal with. And then when it happened to your daughter, that's what really probably brought out not only that, but other stuff that you had never dealt with before. So what I'm saying is, you just had things pile on consistently. And is it safe to say that even with what happened to you at 17 or 18, are you saying after that, did you pretty much have a smooth selling situation or life in your 20s and stuff, or you still were going through things even in your 20s? You know what I mean? Like, because you're saying you were having fun and you were living it up, but did you realize that you were hurting? Did you realize that you needed to make a change, or did you just kind of suppressed it so much that you didn't even realize what was going on. You know what I mean? Because like, what were your 20s like? I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I would say I kind of suppressed it. Like I just
Yeah,
put it in the back of my mind and really didn't think too much about it.
got it. Got it. But do you feel like what happened in 2017 brought on a lot of those things in the past that you didn't want to deal with?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And it's been that, and typically when you have some trauma and grief like that, it'll bring up a lot of stuff that you didn't deal with before. So yeah, so with that, wow. Again, thank you. I have questions, but I'm just like I'm in awe of, the fact that you're being so strong to have this conversation right now. As far as your family is concerned now, where are you guys now as far as the healing process? Are you guys talking, or are you guys trying to work it out? What's the status?
Well, as far as my sisters, we spoke maybe about a week and a half ago about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they understood where I was coming from. They was like, okay, we didn't know, you were feeling that way, so we had a conversation about the situation. My mom on the other hand,
I'm
my
sorry.
my mom on the other hand, like, she's just like me. She's stubborn. Like, so it's like if she doesn't pick up the phone to call me, like I'm not gonna call her. So I never told her how I felt about the situation. My sisters told her how I felt about the situation, and she got upset and she got mad, and we haven't talked. So I mean,
And what about your father?
I talked to my father. I,
Okay.
I think I have a closer, and like with me and my mom, like when we're good, we're good. But
Mm-hmm.
we don't have bad falling outs. It's like, okay, she'll get mad or attitude about something, and then we just won't talk for like the next couple weeks, sometimes months or something like that. But for the most part, like me and my dad, we don't have those falling outs.
Did you tell him though how you felt about how the family wasn't there for you, including him, or?
Well, I wouldn't say my dad wasn't there because my dad was living with me at the time. He wanted to be there for me, but at the same time, was like I kind of like closed him off and didn't really express myself to him.
Okay. And so you say you guys were living with each other at the time. So
No, my dad was living with me.
was okay.
Hmm.
So you came from a two-parent household. Are they still married, or because
Yeah, they're still married. They're still together.
okay, so just at that time he was living with you.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Um Now, just in my situation, I have had family members do the same thing. But sometimes to break generational curses, you have to push through and push forward and realize that sometimes you're not going to be able to get the healing from them or get the answers from them. You got to find the healing within yourself. Because, like I said, I have a grandmother that I don't even speak to because she's the same way. When I try to talk to her, she gets completely defensive and she gets like crazy with it. And I realize that that does not help the situation, nor does it help me heal. So I had to get to the point where I love you, but I have to continue to push forward and realize that I have to heal and to be able to do what I need to do for myself before I could literally be able to bring you anything or to be able to bring you back into my fold as far as my life is concerned. Sometimes you just got to protect your energy from certain family members. Um,
Hmm.
Especially with breaking generational curses. And I'm just based on what you're telling me, there's definitely some generational curses possibly going on. I think hell, honestly, I think all black families got generational curses to a certain extent, just with all the things that we've been through. But sometimes, and I'm not, I'm saying sometimes you got to separate yourself to be able to heal because sometimes you're not going to get the answer that you want. You're not going to get the apology that you want. And if
Hmm.
you keep waiting for it, you're never going to heal. You got to understand that sometimes, you're not going to get it, but you still want to live and you still want to move forward anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it sounds like you guys definitely need to one day maybe have family therapy, but if they're not willing to do it, you got to do the therapy on your own. You feel me? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because, you know, for you to grow, sometimes you got to separate yourself for a minute to be able to grow. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely can agree with that.
You agree with that? Do you feel like you're ready for that though?
Right now, I want to be selfish with myself. I need to work on myself before I can try to repair situations with my family.
You better say it again. Repeat that. Say it again. Say it louder.
I need to be selfish with myself and work on myself before I try to work out relationships with other people.
Exactly. Exactly. So you get it.
Yeah.
You just said, and the thing is, and the reason why, because here's the thing. What you went through with the baby daddy sounds very similar, if you know what I mean. And what I mean by that is that oftentimes we keep making the same mistake when it comes to the opposite sex or who we like, because we think they're going to do things how we would do them. Because you mentioned that he lost a child and you were there for him, correct?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, because you were there for him, you automatically assumed he was going to be there for you.
Well, because it was he lost another child. So it wasn't like I just lost my child, I lost his child too. So I would think because he, went through the emotions of, losing a child before a few years prior, I would think he would help me deal with it. That's something that we can get through together. But his other baby mama at the time was so bitter, she wouldn't allow him
Mm-mm.
to.
Nope. 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 No.
Once the dust settles
Uh huh.
and me and him finally had a talk and had a one-on-one, we met up and everything, he told me the reason why he handled the situation the way he handled it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Monique. I think we all know that people will do what they want to do.
Exactly.
He can tell you all day long that it's her, but if he
Mm.
really wanted to be there for you, he would have.
Yeah, you're right.
So what he see the thing is that we have to stop accepting what people say and look at their actions. Because
Mm.
at the end of the day, actions mean everything. And if he was able to be there for you for anything else, if he was able to be there for you when he wanted some freaky tales, if he was willing to be there for you, like he could have been there for you if he wanted to. He chose to not be there.
Right.
So that's the thing. We gotta stop that. And he can give you that excuse because it's easy to put it on her. And I'm
Mhm.
sure he turned around and probably said the same thing about you to her. You see what I mean? So I
Mhm.
think the thing is, you should expect for people to give you the respect that you give them. But I think to expect that someone is going to pour out and do so much or do things for you like you would do for them, I've learned that when I always have those expectations of assuming that they're going to do me the way that I treated them, like I've always been very loyal, considerate. Is the moment I assume they're going to treat me the same way, I get disappointed every single time.
Mhm.
Every single time. So I think you want what you feel you've done for them, but if the actions keep telling you something totally different, believe the actions, boo. Believe it. because you have definitely constantly said what someone says in private, but if those actions are telling you something totally different, that's who you need to believe, what those actions are. And it seems like the actions, it's a constant repeated cycle of the fact that you want to believe what they're telling you in private. You want to believe so badly that they're going to treat you the way that you've been treating them, but the actions keep telling you something totally opposite, but you still want to believe in that other thing. You got to believe in what they're showing you. And I think that's what it is. And another thing that you did say in the interview is that you dealt with a lot of stuff because you didn't want to deal with another loss in the situation. But
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing, in those type of relationships, it's already gone when you really think about it. In those situations, it's already gone. It's nothing to continue. Like it's done. It's a done deal. And the thing is that you have to find yourself, because once you find yourself, there is no loss when it comes to somebody leaving your life, because it's their loss. Especially when you find yourself and you find out, you know what I'm saying, your worth inside of you. Exactly, Brave. It was never there. There another loss, it was never there. And I think that's what it is. Sometimes we want to believe what we feel that fantasy is. We want to believe that so badly, but reality keeps slapping us in the face. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is from your baby daddy and even other experiences. Reality keeps slapping you in the face, but it's because you weren't willing to deal with you yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you continue to deal with that nonsense. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, child, yeah, we can talk all night. And as you can see in the chat, everybody's talking to you right now because we have been through a lot as far as Black women. There's not one person in here, well, at least from what I'm seeing so far, there's not one person in here that is not saying that they understand you. They've been there before. You see what I mean? And another thing too, sometimes your family is the family you create, because there's a difference sometimes between relatives and family.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. I do feel that your family, your relatives, your sisters, your mom and your dad, of course there's love there, but it seems like there's a lot of trauma there, so they don't know how to process things either. You know what I mean? So, and I had to accept that with some of my family members. They don't know how to process stuff. So I can't try to force them to heal or grow or to accept certain
Yeah.
things. Huh?
Yeah. Like I said on the interview, I don't think. Hello.
Uh-huh. I can hear you.
Oh, like I said on the interview, like I don't think it was intentional. I think we always just grew up just not being emotional people. So we didn't really know how to be there for each other when we was going through really traumatic experiences.
And you didn't have a faith base either. Because see, a lot of times it film. Because one thing about me, when there were times where I felt like my family could not be there for me, I had a faith base where I can get on my knees and pray.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get on my knees, to pray as far as, trying to get guidance or healing. Like, but again, you didn't really know how to do that because you didn't really see that growing up in your household, right?
Yeah.
Are you guys Christian based, or what? Is it Christian based, or are you just non-denominational? What is your background? I mean, your grandmother, was she Christian?
Yes, she was.
Okay. And
Mhm.
so is it safe to say that that's kind of what you're going towards, because you said you're having a relationship with God?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you started that process of maybe finding a church home, or maybe even just looking on YouTube or looking at churches that you're familiar with and maybe looking at their sermons and stuff like that? Because I know that was definitely helpful for me in a lot of situations.
Yeah, so after it took me a few months. Like after I lost my child, I did used to go to church frequently every Sunday.
Okay.
Um, that definitely like helped me deal with it a lot better, and I definitely got a better relationship with God at that time. So I haven't been in a couple years, but I am spiritual. I do read the Bible, and it's definitely helping me heal.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Do you have good like friends? What about friendships? We talking about family, but what about friends?
I don't have consistent friends, but I do have friends.
Okay, now what do you mean by consistent friends?
Mm, it's like I have a friend who I haven't really talked to in probably about like 5 or 6 months. But
Mhm.
if I need somebody to talk to, I know I could pick up the phone and call her. And we could talk like we never missed a day of talking to each other. Then I also have a friend who where, you know, she's going through a lot in her life too, but at the same time it's like I don't want to call her and burden her with my problems and things that I'm going through. So it's like we kind of give each other like space to deal with what we're dealing with because we don't want to overwhelm each other.
Gotcha. Do you feel like you're when it comes to friendships, you're like the same way when it comes to family that you're always the one to reach out to them and they don't necessarily reach out to you? Is that it or
No, because I only have like two friends, so I don't
now
have.
why okay, now why is that? Because well, here's the thing. I do remember you said before, and I can't remember if it was on a interview or it was on a show that you have social anxiety.
Hmm.
Is it because of that you feel awkward making friends, or what is it about? Why? Because you're in your mid-30s, so
Hmm.
what is it about that you feel like you can't have or make friendships?
It's not that I don't feel like I can't have them. It's just like I don't care to make them because I've always grew up because I have five sisters. My mom always taught us growing up, you don't need friends, you have sisters. So growing
Mm,
up, it was like we really didn't have a lot of friends because we had each other. Like that was like embedded in our brains. Like you don't trust other people. You trust your sister. You know what I mean? So that's the dynamic that we grow up in. So I don't know, it's just kind of like a habit. Like I always kept that in my brain, like and the friends that I do have, my best friend, I knew her since freshman year of high school, and we just maintained a friendship throughout the years. And then my other friend, I met her at work. She's an older woman, so I relate to older people. She's like maybe like 45.
mm-hmm.
We've been having a good friendship for about 10 years now.
Yeah, but the thing is that you stated you don't really have the best relationship with your sisters. So who are your confidants? You know what I mean? Like, and is it because of some of the things that you've gone through, your guard is not just up for having relationships or genuine connections with finding that man that you would want to be with? Like, is it also that you have a guard up to make friendships because of the things that you've gone through? Like, have you had bad situations in friendships maybe, and that's the reason why you don't want to make friends anymore? Like, because you got to have an outlet, you got to have companionship.
Um, have I had bad friendships? I would say yes in my younger years, but not in my adult years. Like, cause I've just always been a closed off person. I don't allow myself to get close to people. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, and hey, at the end, I definitely would, especially with everything that you've been through, I get it. But remember, you're saying you're trying to heal. So I would think definitely, and again, your therapist, when you find one, and I'll definitely send you the information as far as the directory. When you find one, maybe they'll tell you about certain stages, and then that way you can kind of let your guard down where you can, start meeting people. And again, it may not be necessarily friendship, but maybe you need associates that you can just hang out with, be able, what I'm saying, to grab a drink with, or whatever the case may be. And then you just maybe have one or two that are just those genuine friends that you can trust and talk to. Because it sounds like you do have a friend that you can talk to about those certain things when you need her. But at the same time, if she's busy, like, finding things to do with other people and mingle and go out, have brunch, or whatever the case may be, it sounds like you are that type of girl who would be willing to do that. But because you're so guarded, you don't really have anyone to do that with. You know what I mean? So I guess it's like one of those things where it's not necessarily friendship, but just having that companionship to be able to go out and just be around people, and be able to have a conversation with folks.
Yeah, so I have people like that I could call like if I want to go out and do something, and I also have people that I can call like if I really want to have a deep conversation with. You know what
But
I mean?
you're saying they're not consistent. So do you want more consistency though? Is what I guess that's the thing. Because you said they're not consistent.
By consistent, I mean like people have their own lives. So it's like if they're going through something or they have something that's going on in their life, I'm not gonna call them and I don't want to say bother, but it's like I'm not gonna put my issues on you. Like I'm gonna give you that courtesy and let you deal with what you got going on, and then you'll let me know you ready to talk to me or whenever you get done dealing with what you dealing with.
Yeah, but even does it have to be always what you're dealing with, or you just sometimes just, hey, how you doing? Like having a conversation, like let's go out, let's hang. Like, does it always have to be about talking about those things? Do you have an outlet to be able to go out and hang and not even talk about some of those
Oh
things?
yeah, yeah, I do.
Okay, okay, okay.
And then
All
when
right.
I say older, I don't mean like old people. I say older because I'm 35 and like she's like in her mid 40s. Not saying that she's old, but I'm saying older, like older than me.
Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about? Somebody said something in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple more things, and then I'll ask you if you want some, people to come up. But one, you have a dog now, right?
Yes.
How's your dog?
And she's good. My
She,
sister actually is like so attached to her.
your
And
sister?
yes, one of my older sisters. She wasn't on the show, but she has a dog and she has 3 kids at home. So it's like they've fallen so much in love with my dog. Like it's hard for me to get my dog back now.
Wait, so you don't even have the dog all the time now?
No.
Oh no, you got to get your baby back.
I know.
Because it does help, because one thing when it comes to domestic animals like dogs and stuff, that unconditional love and their need for you, it does help. I know for me it definitely did help. So go get your baby back. Go get your dog back. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In a perfect world, where do you see yourself physically in 5 years, as far as career and physically and all of that stuff? Where do you see yourself?
In 5 years, I want to see myself more healthier, living a healthier lifestyle. That's
Hmm.
the number one goal. Career wise, I'm actually thinking about going back to school for respiratory therapy. I feel like that's something that I've always wanted to do, but I guess I've just been too scared to go back to school. And
Uh-oh, you went out again, Mo. You there?
can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah. You said you've been too scared to go back to school.
Yeah. So I think next year,
Uh-oh, Mo, are you moving? Because you went out.
um,
Your phone went out again.
no, I'm here.
Okay, you said you was too
I'm
scared.
here.
Okay, but do it. because trust and believe, even when I was in school, there were people who were literally in their 60s and 70s going back to school. So it definitely do it. So you said going back to school, so 5 years. Okay, so definitely going back to school for respiratory therapy. What else?
Mm. And then I don't know, one of my short term goals in the next couple of months, I do want to move outside of Chicago. I don't want to live here anymore. I'm not happy here. I feel like I just need a fresh start. So
Mm-hmm.
wherever that is, wherever God takes me, that's where I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so that's basically my goals for the next 5 years. Just focus on my education and my health.
Where do you see yourself emotionally in the next 5 years?
Emotionally, I want to be healed. I want to.
What does healing look like for you?
What healing looks like for me is like loving myself and knowing that just getting rid of like all the bad people, bad energy out of my life. And if I feel like something is not making me happy or have a good purpose for me, it's okay to leave. Like I don't have to sit around and tolerate things just
Right.
for the sake of having somebody in my life.
Right. And that one thing I will say in my process, and now that I've learned that if people, when you love yourself, if people decide to walk out of your life or if people do you dirty, when you decide to leave them alone, when you love yourself, you don't have to do a get back because you already know that they lost you. Like at the end of the day, you know your worth. So if anything, their karma is the fact that they lost you, a good person. So you're still gonna have those moments, even in the process of you being healed. You're gonna have them. It's just that the way that you process them are gonna be different.
Hmm.
Because even still to this day, at my age, I still have people who do me dirty or do shady stuff. And the way that I process it though is differently because I realize I know my worth. Okay, I'll just separate myself from you because at the end of the day, I know my worth and I know you lost a good one. You lost one. So I'm gonna just keep it moving. And the sweetest revenge is success and being able to move on without them.
Exactly.
Point blank, period. Now, with that being said, what are 5 things that Monique Robinson likes about herself?
What do I like about myself? I would say,
5 things. Five.
mm, I would say the number one thing that I like about myself would be I'm very, I don't know if I like this about myself though. Um, that I'm very understanding.
Okay.
I'm understanding, forgiving, probably a little bit too forgiving at times.
Okay.
Um, I'm always willing to help people.
Okay.
I would say, what was that? Three things.
Yep. You said understanding, forgiving, and you're always willing to help people. Those three. So yeah.
Mhm.
Two more.
Okay.
You there?
I'm here. I'm
Okay.
thinking.
Okay.
I would say also that I could be a very dedicated person, and I'm loving.
And you're loving. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. And so what about it, it seems like all of those things are definitely in regards to how you treat other people as well. I guess when you look in the mirror, what do you like about Monique? And that even means physical too. Like whether it's your lips, your eyes. What are the things that you like about Monique?
When I look in the mirror, I love my eyes, my lips. I love my hair.
Okay.
Um, what was it? What was that? 3 or 4 things.
You love your eyes, your lips, your hair.
Mhm.
Now, at this point, or do you feel like you're at the stage you're working on loving yourself? Is that correct? Do you feel like you can say you love yourself?
You said, am I working on loving myself?
Like, can you say you love yourself?
Can I say I love myself? At this very moment, I would say I need to work on loving myself more.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Do you feel you're an intelligent person? Do you feel you're a witty person?
I feel like I'm intelligent. I feel like I have a great sense of humor that people probably don't know about me. But
Hmm.
yeah.
If I can give you some advice, the things that you love about yourself and the things that you like about yourself, as far as the nurturing side, your physical side, those are affirmations that you should say to yourself every day.
Mhm.
I love my lips. I love my eyes. I love my hair. I am intelligent. I am nurturing. I am understanding. I am caring. I am that chick. You give those affirmations every day. I know for me, it helped.
Mhm.
It helped because a lot of the times you gotta make sure and remind yourself on a consistent basis who you are. And vision boards help too with that. Have you created a vision board before?
No.
You haven't created a vision board? Vision boards have helped me. Every year on like my birthday, I create a new vision board for that year. And whether it's things that I want to work on internally, externally, or goals that I'm setting for myself as far as my career, all of that goes on that board. And I put it up where I can see it on a day-to-day basis. That helps too. But again, those are for me. But again, hopefully you're willing to go to therapy and they will definitely give you the tools that they actually were taught in school to kind of help you with that too. However, that's what I do. And yeah, and that's when someone said I need a vision board and a wine party. Honey, I do my vision board with the wine. It's fun. Like I literally will get the vision board together with my wine and I will create a vision board. But growth is uncomfortable, Monique. I'm not gonna even lie to you and say that it's not uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. It will be uncomfortable and you will have your moments of weakness. But just know that at the end of the day, this is a part of the process and trust and believe it is so much better on the other side. It really is. When you get to that point, it is so much better. It is. And you're going to have people like emotional vampires who are going to try to suck you dry, especially when they get to the point where they see that you are progressing. You're going to have to be able to understand that those are tests, but you
Mhm.
have to make sure to still continue to push through because people love to be able to sit up there and try to test you when they know that you're doing good and you're trying to move forward, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, yes, daily affirmations. Now, let me ask you this. I went all over the place because honestly, there were certain things that we talked about that I wasn't expecting. So, I'm hoping that you were able to kind of flow with me and understood what I was asking you.
Yeah.
Are you willing to have people, if they have questions in regards to certain things, and if I feel like it's, of course, too crazy, they'll get dropped, but are you willing to either in the chat they can actually ask questions and I'll just put them up there and then you can answer them, or would you rather for them to come on the panel? What would you prefer?
It doesn't matter.
Do Are you willing to take questions from the chat?
Yeah, that's
All right, you guys, I'm gonna do the link. Please be respectful or you will get removed, okay? And so if you guys have questions or even words of encouragement for Monique, this is the time to do it. Okay, so thank you, Monique. Girl, we've come a long way, haven't we? We've got, and the fact that you were willing to open up, I appreciate it, because I think at the end of the day, this will not only help you, but it will also help, other women out there. We have to start being each other's support system and be each other's allies versus each other's enemies. And sometimes at the end of the day, you're going to have some that are just not going to be able to get it, which is fine. But I truly believe that there are a good amount of women out there who are truly and genuinely about sisterhood. I know you guys are emotional roller coasters, but this is the time for us to be honest and have that sister to sister talk, and we can talk. You know what I mean? All right, so we have T. Hi, T.
Oh shoot! Hi, I didn't realize I was up. Hey
Uh,
Monique,
Hi, how
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, good. So I can say, like in the beginning of Love After Lockup, just like Chris, I was rooting for you. Then I was like, Monique, why? I want to like you, but I'm really, and I let me get to it. This is positive. I just want to say that I relate so much to your story on so many levels. And you are so brave and so strong for sharing your story with us because you didn't have to do that at all. So, what I really want to say is, I hope you get all the healing that you need as someone that has been in a similar situation as you. It does get better, it's a little rough in the beginning, but you already seem like a very strong, capable person. So I know you can do this. Just take your time and don't let nothing steer you away from your goals. Because once you get there, you're going to look back and be like, wow, I freaking did that. I'm a freaking boss. I'm everything, the alpha and the omega, everything in between. You got this, girl. So don't give up. There's going to be some setbacks, but don't let those trip you up because you got this. I believe in you. I really do. I see great things for you. Okay? That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much.
So I hope you enjoy your night. Okay?
Thank you. I definitely appreciate that.
All right.
Thank
Much
you,
love.
T. Thank you. All right. And so next, let's see. We have Nene. Hey Nene. Hey sis.
Hey, Chris. Hi, Mo.
Hi, Nini.
Nene, you there? Uh-oh. Maybe her phone going out.
Do we have a? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes. Can you hear her, Mo?
Yes,
Yeah.
I hear.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh no, Nene. Oh no. Nene,
Okay.
okay, your phone went out. You may want to get in a better area. Do you want to try to call back in?
I'm gonna call back in.
Okay, call back in. Okay. Next, we have Mickey. Mickey, you there?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear Mo?
Yeah,
Hey, y'all. Hey, Monique. I got something to give you. I swear. Watch this. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. Like, oh my gosh. Like, if I never seen growth, I need to learn from you. Like, this is growth. I'm so happy for you. I'm saying proud of you. Like, you, my child or something. But I'm so happy for you. Like, that you really, like, opened up to us, like for real, like of who you really are and why sometimes you might come off the way you are because of what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we understand. I'm Team Monique. If you ever come on these panels, just know I got your back. But I really have so much respect for you, and I'm glad that you really like this was a good process for you. Like, wasn't no trolling. Like, everybody loved your interview. I couldn't finish it because I be trying not to be no crybaby. I be trying to be tough. So I was starting to cry. So I was like, let me cut this off real quick. I'll watch it later. So I still had to go finish it. I just didn't see the butterflies part. But all I want to say is Now, like you are beautiful inside and out. Back then, I was joking them jokes. I wasn't like serious, but yeah, like I said, I'm very happy for you. I'm proud of you, and I just feel like this is growth. Like you really like it's a whole nother part. Like I like you, like I really do. Like I would go to brunch with you. Like I really like you. Like I do. Like after watching this, I was like, amazing, Chris. You did your thing, homegirl. You did
Oh,
it. You
thank
did
you.
it.
Well,
You
Monique
did
did
it.
it more than anything.
Y'all
Yeah.
did it. Y'all did it. This was a great live. I hope we can have more. Monique, you can come over here. Hang out with us. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, y'all. It's 10 o'clock out here. I gotta go to sleep.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Mickey, for coming up. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, and I hope you're very successful with whatever you decide to do. And I'm still waiting for that eyebrow tutorial, girl, because I could do my eyebrows, but you could do some eyebrows. So I'm trying to learn some.
You,
But
I'm
all
gonna
right,
get to
y'all.
it soon.
Wait, what you say?
I said thank you. I'm gonna get to it soon.
All right, y'all have a good night.
Good
You
night.
too. You too.
All right.
And for the person in the comment that's trying to be negative, let me explain something. As far as adults are concerned, you can change your mind and perspective when you learn things about people or certain situations. At the end of the day, we are learning stuff about Monique that we never knew. So when it all boils down to it, we have every right to look at this situation, have a new perspective of her. There is nothing wrong with that. Look, we have definitely have had our issues and things that we have said before based off of her actions, but now we are understanding why some of those actions possibly happened. At this point, I don't see anything wrong with supporting her in her journey and in her process. I don't. So if you have a problem with that, then this is not the page for you. But I would do that with anyone. I'm a firm believer in allowing people to grow and being able to give them that time to grow. So you don't like it, it is what it is. So with that being said, okay, y'all, yeah, time her out because she's not getting it at the end of the day. And I'm sorry, Monique, but I'm sure you're looking at the chat. But yeah, I had to just say it because I'm tired of, I don't do subliminals anymore in these chat. Um, but the thing is that at the end of the day, yes, we knew that she lost a child, but we didn't know everything else that came with it. She never really talked about it that way. And Monique, do you agree with that? Do you feel like this time around we were able to see another side of you that we've never seen before?
Yeah, I would say that. I think that's probably why a lot of people like really didn't get me, or well, because I did talk about it on the show in the area. But yeah, I would say, y'all really didn't know me for real. So
And did you feel like at times, because I'm a firm believer that hurt people do hurt people, did you feel that sometimes you understood when you lashed out why we may have responded the way that we responded at times? Like, do you want to have that conversation, or is that something that's just like for another day? Because the reality is we definitely did have our opinions of each other. And I even said in the chat one time, and I was like, you do understand why sometimes we felt that way. And you even said why you thought we felt that way, because you said, well, you guys thought I was mean. Do you understand why sometimes people had a certain perception of you? Do you
yeah.
get that now?
Hmm.
Okay. So with that, Asia, you understand and she understands, which is why we're moving forward. Anybody else want to come in this chat and talk some nonsense? Let it be known we're not going forward today. All right. So next we have Nini. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. It's beautiful. Mo, can you hear her?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead, Nini.
I just wanted to come up and say I definitely was like, oh, I didn't want to watch the interview because I was like, I'm done with Monique. But I watched it and I commend you for being so vulnerable with something that is so personal. Um, I went through a miscarriage. It's something that is very painful to go through, because you have all these expectations and you plan this life and then you go in with a child and you go home alone. So I really had a lot of empathy towards you for being able to be vulnerable like that. What I would say is that I really do encourage you to go to therapy. I know it's not really a big thing in the Black community, but I see you give so much grace and excuses to other people on how they treat you. And I think the person that needs you the most is you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not being there for you. You need to give yourself the same grace that you've given to other people. You need to really love on yourself. And it's okay to sometimes love on yourself alone and not look for it in a relationship that doesn't serve you. Because unfortunately, a lot of people, when they know your vulnerabilities, they use it against you and not in a good way. So I do want to say that, a lot of us are rooting for you. A lot of people, it has to be hard to be on social media and see some of the things that people have said. But block that out because none of us know you in real life. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of us want to see you win. And I hope that your wig line or your makeup or whatever you want to do goes well. And, just keep going, and really look into going to therapy. And hopefully it'll help you.
Yeah, that's something that I'm thinking about doing. um, Going to therapy. I feel like that'll really help me get past a lot of things that I've been keeping in for so long.
And it's
And
gonna be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you got to stick through it because you'll learn so much about yourself. Trust me, I've been there. Hell, I
and
still got my therapist on speed dial. I ain't stopped.
girl, I've been
Like,
in therapy for 10 plus years on
yes,
and off.
yes, it's
Cause
an ongoing process. Go ahead,
yeah,
Nene.
because things will trigger you. You
Mm-hmm.
can go a year and I'll be like, oh, I'm good. And it can be a song, it could be a movie, and I'll be like, oh fuck, I need to go back to therapy. And it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that therapy will also let you know that it's okay to set boundaries. And I'm
Oh,
gonna tell you, when you first get in therapy, it's gonna piss you off. Because
yes.
they're gonna let you know that your grandmama was wrong about some of the stuff she told you, your mama was wrong, your daddy was wrong, and your instinct is to be like, you don't know my life,
Exactly.
but
Telling you.
it's gonna free you. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
free you. And that's the best thing ever. Like I said, it ain't easy. It's gonna break you first. But once you come through on that other side,
It's beautiful.
it's a beautiful feeling, sis. It's
Yes.
a beautiful feeling.
Yes. And you will get that validation in you because you need the validation within yourself, not from others. You need your own validation. Nene, that was beautiful. It's beautiful. But yeah, I still have a therapist. It don't end. It does not end.
Yeah, I didn't send my therapist daughter through college shit. I'm like, got a Bentley, a house, and everything else.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, definitely. Definitely. Any last words, Nene, before I bring other people up?
Nope, just take care. Love you, Chris. Love what you're doing,
Love you
Monique.
too.
Wishing you peace and happiness, sis. Take
Thank you.
care.
All right. Now we have Blue. Blue, are you there?
I am. Do you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Blue. How are you?
You hear me?
Yes. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
perfect. Yeah. Okay, great. Monique, first off, I just want to say thank you for just coming up here and speaking your truth. Proud of you for just really being vulnerable. I know I've been in the comments before. I've kind of lit you up a few times, but this, like other people have come up and said, just hearing you talk about some of your own personal challenges, with the pregnancy, with family. It was very relatable to many of us. And for me, it was just good to see that you're no longer focused on a man. Most of the story has been you and Derek and that back and forth. And it really took away from who you were as a person. like really getting to know your story, your truth, your character. So I think now if you're pulling away from Derek and we get a chance to really get to see you, I like that side of you. And I think you should, hopefully, you continue to move forward without focusing so much on him or just having a man being the center. Because I think you shine in your own way, and hopefully will continue to do more of these things, find ways to just be able to love yourself. I think when you were saying, I think Chris had asked about, do you love yourself or something like that, and you said, well, i'm I'm starting to love myself more, right, or something like that.
Mm,
And I think all of us can speak to that, because like, you go through breakups, it makes you really feel like shit, right? You feel like, am I worthy? Am I good enough? And so you kind of go through those stages of not feeling like you love yourself and being insecure. And we all have to work and build that back up. So I think it's good that you are aware, and there's work to do, and I'm sure you'll get there. But I will leave and just say, just continue to take small steps. The stuff that you're talking about is not going to take one day to fix, right? It's going to take some time. So take small steps and celebrate your progress along the way. I think a lot of times as Black women, we don't celebrate the small things that we do. And I think you have done a lot of good things in this last year. You are like the number one star off of that show, man. Like y'all killed it. I ain't even gonna lie. Y'all killed it. Um, so you have great things going on, and be gentle and kind to yourself. That's all I have.
thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it. I
Thank
do
you,
feel like I do
Blue.
get to give myself credit for the small steps that I am taking,
Yes.
because it's still some progress.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Every little step is progress, Monique, and do not forget that. Every little step is progress.
And if I may, I think, just watching that show with you, I forget what segment you did this on with this interview. I like seeing more of like that. I could watch more of you do something like that, like you on a journey. I think you should try to find your own show where you kind of do your own path. I don't know if it's a dating show or you just kind of doing something with whatever you're focused on. It was interesting. So I would like to see more of you in doing some type of exploration or self growth. So that's it. But take care, Mo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Blue.
Chris, how do I don't really do I don't really get up here, so I'll just leave the studio. Is that how I get
Well,
out?
I can remove you. I can just
Okay,
remove
thank
you.
you.
It's okay. It's okay. Have a good night. Thank you for calling up or clicking the link. Um, and also while we're on, I found the IG page. It's Black Female Therapist, and it's plural. I'll send it to you, Monique, but it's Black Female Therapist. They have over 200,000 followers, and they actually have a link where you can find a therapist, a Black female therapist. And they're all over. So you can literally click on that link and find one and be able to maybe start the process there, find a therapist, put in your location, and go from there.
Okay.
And that's for you or anyone that's listening, okay? To be able to find one specifically for your needs. And it says accepting new patients, in-person sessions, or self-pay available, accepts insurance. It has all of those options. All right. So next we have Burberry Blush. That is definitely an interesting name. Hello.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, how are you?
I'm great. Chris, I love your channel.
Oh, thank you.
Hello Monique.
Hi.
I wanted to say this. I follow you a lot and a lot that's going on and everything. And I also wanted to just let you know that I relate to you in more ways than one. Um I'm just shaking just think about it and talk about it. But I lost a son or whatever. He was only 3 years old. And I was with his father for a long time. His father was in prison for 19 years. Um he just coming home or whatever the case may be, it's been many years now, and it still hasn't gotten better for me because I didn't allow myself to deal with the fact that I was feeling like I started growing abandonment issues when I lost my son. I didn't know how to deal with it. My family wasn't there for me and things like that. So I always felt so much alone. So what I started to do was I would attach myself to people that actually were draining the energy and stuff out of me, like breaking the peace that I was trying to create. And I just want to tell you, I'm 46 years old. Yeah, you still young and everything. Whatever you do, don't lose yourself, because I'm gonna be very honest and transparent with everybody up here. I lost myself and I don't know how to get myself back. When that happens, it's the worst thing in the world. So I'm just letting you know that there's so many different people out here and different things that you could try to do, and just don't lose yourself into worrying about all the other nonsense. Sometimes in order to like let stuff go and get yourself together, you can't keep looking back at the negative or the stuff that brought you down. You got to try to move forward. So I'm just speaking to you from like a sister, and I just want to say I love you even though I don't know you, and I pray that everything gets better for you.
Thank you so much, and I am sorry about your loss too.
Thank you.
And I'm definitely sorry for your loss too, Burberry Blush. But just understand that you do have a support system here as well. So I know it has to be difficult for you, but maybe we'll do more lives like this. I like to be funny and entertaining, but I feel like this may be a calling to be able to have these moments.
Right.
Because we are the most disrespected out there. We are. A lot of us, we get it from people in our community. We get it from sometimes our own sisters in our community, and we get it from the men in our community.
Mm-hmm.
So when we can find a tribe of people who are willing to, be understanding, and sometimes we don't get along, we agree to disagree or whatever, but we can still be able to say it's still love at the end of the day, and it's to support each other. Maybe we need, I'll do some more lives like this. Maybe that'll be kind of one of those things we can check in, a sister check in,
Yeah,
to be
that's
able to check in with our sisters and be able to, have those moments, because we are going through stuff. And a lot of times we don't feel like we have anyone to talk to, but definitely Burberry, also, if you can, I did just mention the therapist thing also. If you do, maybe get some therapy also. And, I say it's therapy and also having a tribe of people that you can talk to. Like I said, I get it all. Wherever I can get that positive reinforcement from, and myself included, I'll take it. So, maybe we'll do that. But I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. You got this. You said you lost yourself. You can find yourself again. You can find yourself. Trust and believe. You can.
yeah.
Just take those baby steps. And the fact that you're saying it now means, again, you're willing to admit it. Now the next step is going through the process to be able to find yourself. You
Right.
can do it.
Right. Well, I just want to say thank you and good night to everybody. And I don't know how to get off of here either.
It's okay. I'll remove you. Thank you for speaking your truth and speaking to Monique. Okay.
All right, and have a blessed night.
You too. You
Okay.
too. All right. And we have Brave. Hey, Brave. I saw you in the chat.
Well, hello. So, I y'all don't trip off my voice, and because I am 42, and I might sound like I'm.
Oh, Mo. I think Mo went down. I think she lost her connection. Let me see
Oh
if she'll come back
no.
up. No, just wait for a minute. Where you from?
I live in South Carolina. I'm from. I have varying backgrounds in my voice. So,
Okay. Well, you have a beautiful accent. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a beautiful accent. Mo's back. Mo, you there?
Yeah,
Monique,
I'm here.
Okay.
Monique, I have been trying to talk to you for the longest time. I sent you a message on Instagram months and months ago, but what I want to tell you is, I I echo the sentiments of a lot of the women who have came up here tonight, who have lost children, believed in a man, no matter what his background was. Mine is very similar to yours. Um, I was with somebody who came out of prison doing 14 years. So when they're in there and they're behind those walls and they feed you these dreams, and you are not 100% of yourself, you it's so easy to get sucked up into that. I want to let you know that, number one, you are not alone, and you have not been alone in this from the start. Number two, Me as a person knowing better, I, in my mind, did not give you the grace that I needed for myself. A lot of us went through the exact same things that you went through and could not handle it being publicized the way that you did.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, but what I want to let you know is, from people talk about your health, people talk about your weight. I'm a person that was very big at one point, probably about your size. And I want to let you know that, I had weight loss surgery. I did a lot of things, and I am on the other side of where people are telling you that you're going to be. Okay. And I want you to know that losing the weight doesn't change, you know, the inside of you. The therapy is important. Work on yourself, love yourself. But what I want to tell you is that at the end of the day, and at the end of all of this, there's going to be this man who walks into your life and loves you. Whether you lose 1 pound, whether you lose 100 pounds, he's going to love you the way that you need to be loved. He's going to give you the life that you need to be living after you do the work on yourself.
Mhm.
So stay the course. Do not forget who you're doing this for. You're doing this for your future children. You want to live a life that leaves a great lasting legacy. You want to break those generational curses. You want to be the best version of yourself for you, for your next man, and for the children that you have coming along, because it is coming, and it's going to come faster than you thought. People tell you therapy takes a long time or whatever, but you got to live. You're not just healing every single day. You're living while you're healing, and you're progressing while you're living and healing. Okay, don't focus so much on the healing that you forget that, you still deserve love from a man. You still deserve children, and all of those things are coming. My first date with my boyfriend, I met him on Facebook, and he was telling me about how he had just got divorced. I'm telling this man, go live your life, go live your life. And one day he said to me, he said, damn it, let somebody love you. Our first date was 16 days. I sold my house and moved in with this man a year later. Now we're about to get married. Now we're 3 years in. And it all happened really, really quickly. So, like I said, I'm not going to stay up here long. I'm not going to give any long speeches, but I wanted to personally give you the apology for not giving you the grace that you deserved in your situation. And then, secondly, I wanted just to say that we are a bunch of women who love you, understand you, and are rooting for you. Okay?
Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate those kind words. And if you did reach out to social media, I get so many
I
messages
understand.
through. But message me tonight.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we
So
can definitely talk. Because let me tell you something. My baby daddy will make Derek look like he came off the cross and died for our sins. Okay, trust me.
mhm.
All right, but take it easy, y'all. Have a good night.
And thank you. Have a good night.
All right,
Have a
bye.
good night. Thank you for calling in.
No problem.
Bye bye. Sorry, while I was removing her, I accidentally double clicked and removed you. There you go. You there, Mo?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. We have Born a Queen. I like that name. Hi,
Yes.
Born a Queen.
Hi, how are you? How was everybody? Um,
Good.
I'm a little nervous. It's the first time that I ever spoke out on a panel. I came
Stay
in
safe.
late. And you guys almost had me in tears. Um, I could write a book about my life. Um, my husband did 24 years, and it was hard. It was hard dealing with him when he came home. It was very, very hard. Um, but on another note, I lost a baby a different way, and I'm not ashamed of my story. I terminated a pregnancy and I didn't want to do it, but I did it to please other people, family members, and everything. And it hurt. It hurt so bad. My child would have been 25 this September. I will never forget anything about that moment. I'm against abortions, but I say keep it legal because it's your choice. But it wasn't a choice for me, and I did it for other people, and I never forget that. And it's so hard for me to. It's hard. I will never forget, and it's painful. So, Monique, you're definitely not alone in anything. Because, like I said, I could write a book about my life. And I sent you a message in your Instagram. Um, but you guys, all your comments, like I'm almost in tears over here. And I like this. I enjoy this.
Yeah, it just shows you how much of us have truly gone through a lot of stuff. We have, and a lot of the times we don't feel like we have someone that we can be vulnerable with and talk to.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But again, with what happened tonight, this may be it. I'ma still, do my reviews, have my fun. Hopefully some of
Yeah.
these reviews make you guys laugh, but this may be it. This is maybe where we just need to have those moments, because there is a lot of grief and things that we've gone through and we haven't healed from. We're walking around with so much trauma, so much grief. We're just
Exactly.
existing. We're existing. We're not living. And
Exactly.
owe it to ourselves to live. We only have a short amount of time on this earth. We deserve, as Black women, we deserve to be able to live life. We do.
Hmm. Yeah,
We do. Especially
we
with
do.
all that we go through. And we're always there for everyone else except ourselves a lot of the times.
Hmm.
We
I
are.
know. I just came out of very deep depression, like really bad, and I'm in such a good place now. I did a lot of praying, and learning to love on myself. Love on myself, because
Mhm.
sometimes we loving everybody else but ourselves.
Ourselves, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna pray for you, because at the
Thank
end of the
you.
day, it's a process. Anytime someone is willing to come up here and be vulnerable, it's a step, because we're
Mhm.
taught to not be vulnerable. We are taught to suck it up and keep moving. Like I mentioned the stages earlier in the live, about there is stages of grief, but there's also stages of Black grief. We don't get the luxury of being able to heal a lot of the times. So we're like walking zombies. We're desensitized. We just literally are just pushing through, not realizing that we need outlets. We do. So
Yes.
I definitely, I thank you for calling up, and you mentioning this, you're taking the step, and I hope you continue to take the steps forward. I did put in the chat the Black female therapist. I'm probably going to put it
Mhm.
in the actual description on this live also, so you guys have a link to it.
Mhm.
So then that way, you guys can have that. So you guys can maybe
Mhm.
find therapists that are relatable, because they look like us and probably have gone through some of the same situations, and they have the tools for you guys to be able to get through what you need to get through.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for listening, Monique. I love you. You are not alone. You are not alone, and you are a beautiful woman. Check your DM, but keep going. This support right here will help you. Because even though we know other people go through it, we still feel like we're alone. And this right here helps us realize that we're not. So thank you.
Thanks for sharing your story. I'll definitely check my DM.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.
Yes, you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. And like I said, I'll definitely send you positive energy, born a queen. And you
Thank you.
were born a queen, and you still are a queen. Remember that.
That's my last name. That's my last name. So
Oh, queen.
yes.
Oh well, honey, then that means definitely you would. Yeah, you truly born a queen for real.
Yeah. Yes.
Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Natty, I think someone said they accidentally timed you out. It wasn't on purpose. So apologies. I apologize on behalf of my mods. I think I saw one of them say it was an accident because they were on their phone. So, but you're back. You're back. So I hope no one, because I know Natty, and by the way, I saw your comments, baby girl. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you guys who was definitely in the comments letting me know, you know what I'm saying, and supporting me and rooting for me. So But yeah, I think everybody's okay now. Anybody else want to come up, or anybody want to put questions in the chat that want to speak to Monique? And Monique, I'm like I said, I'm big on action. So we're gonna see how you progress and move forward. But I want to possibly do an update with you in a couple of months, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I can say I'm definitely headed in the right direction. I definitely made some, small steps, you know.
Yeah, so definitely some small stuff. But I guess what I mean is the check in is to see how you progressing, but at the same time give you words of encouragement, that type of thing. Like I said, I may start doing like a sister check-in just to see how everything is going. Because again, sometimes you just need that support system and you need that reminder. But that's if you want to do it. That's
Yeah,
if
fine. Yeah.
but we have someone coming up. We have Yuli. Hey Yuli.
Hey guys, hey Monique. Chris, I'm always here, right?
Yes, you are always here.
Monique, I gotta give you props, girl. Yo, I've never seen you like this. And you know what? It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see you like this. This is the Monique I wanted to know, girl. See, this is the one I wanted to have a one-on-one chat because you relatable as hell. You like me, and I love that. I'll be honest as hell with you. Like, no lie. I was not only crying on that interview, I was laughing in the sense like I saw your growth in the sense that I saw how you took all these experiences and you combined it. You saw how that conclusion came out. Yeah, you had your stepfalls and whatever, but we human, we all have those. Girl, I could tell you a lot about mine, and you'll be like, the fuck? How are you still awake? But that's what makes us human, that's what makes us strong. The thing I loved about it, it was your not only your transparency, but the way you was feeling the moment and you carried us along with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. This I was watching that interview and I wasn't only crying, I wasn't only experiencing what you were experiencing. Like I felt like I was you in some moments. I'm like, dude, if I would have been me, I wouldn't have known how to deal with it. Like that moment that you were speaking about that situation when you were with your child alone. I was in that position in the sense that I didn't see my baby get to that point, but I was in a depressive point that I almost had my kid taken away from me. Like really bad. So for me to see you, you were saying when you were saying that you were by yourself in that moment, girl, I was crying because I was by myself. I didn't know who to look for. I didn't know who to ask for help. So I was with you in every moment of that interview, in every single word you were saying. I was living it with you. So right now, I want to give you a hug. I know we're like far, but honestly, this is a virtual hug from me to you because you got to me, you got to my soul, and I really appreciate that because I got to know you. I really did.
I'm quiet.
Sorry, I'm like crying, guys. I'm sorry, I'm like crying.
No, 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 no. You about to have me cry over here. Monique, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. It's just because like this helped me in more ways than y'all know. Like I appreciate everybody on here that's rooting for me, that's trying to help me get through this because it's a lot.
It is. It is. It is a lot. And you can hear that we have all been there before or still going through it. That's why I said it doesn't stop. The healing process never stops. But
Mhm.
it definitely is one of those things where to really be able to live the life you want, you gotta do it. And you here to support. And you know why you here to support is because we have all been through that type of pain and still trying to heal from that pain.
We just
We,
don't want you to minimize who you are for
exactly.
no man because no man, girl, is ever worth it. We
Ever.
have yet to see one that is worth it besides Jesus Christ the Lord, and that's already passing on. But you know what I'm saying? Like no one can take that spirit away from you. You got a beautiful one, girl. Like you really do. Don't let that die. I really believe you can soar above your means if you really put your mind to you, to yourself. Oh, you can do wonders. And I told you that when you was doing your thing in the beginning, I said, yo, she puts on her big girl pants and she does on for her, yo, she can go far. Cause you got it. You got that determination. You got that atmosphere. You got that attitude and that grind. Put yourself on you, girl, and I see you soaring. Fuck Derek. Fuck any man who has a dick. You can see yourself soaring. I could tell you that.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Yuli. Thank you
No,
so
no, thank.
much.
I swear to you, it's not a thank you. This is a premonition. Do you, Monique? Do you, girl? I swear to you, do you? You already had the platform. Run it.
Ooh,
Run
yes,
it like
you
you ain't
do.
never run before.
And I think personally in this situation, yes, you definitely went through a lot, but like I told you, you have a platform where you can do wonders with it. You really can. Because you will be very shocked to see how many women have gone through the same things you are going through. And you have a platform. You could even start, I think someone even mentioned in the chat, start vlogging your healing process. And when you see fit, start posting it on your page, posting on your YouTube page. You know what I mean? Definitely. And again, it's a process. It's a never ending process, but it's so well worth it. It's so well worth it.
And it's not a process that you do alone. The funny thing is that in this type of situation, just the simple fact that you just begin that one step of expressing yourself of what was going on in your life, what made you be who you are, how this all happened, how this all came to be. Because I'll be honest with you, that story with your house father, that was me. So I ain't gonna lie, that was me. And I had worse stuff because I ended up physically having to deal with it and fighting it. You know what I'm saying? Like physically. So I'm telling you, I was with you the entire time with that interview because I was living it along with what she was saying it. But I honestly like just that first step, and then you trying to connect with therapy. This is like all this. I'm telling you, you can make it. You can do a platform just about that healing process. Let's say Monique's lifestyle, the road to healing, anything like
Mhm.
that. Monique's road to healing. Girl, that's a right there. That's a whole channel.
Yes.
That right there is yo. I'll be tuning in every week
Mm-hmm.
just to let you know.
Thanks
So
so
start doing on you, girl, because I'm telling you, you can go far, Monique. You got this. You really do. But I'm gonna get off this line. Let some other people come up. Guys, be safe. Be good out there. We under Jesus' godly heaven, and hopefully we'll be blessed. Keep doing y'all, because y'all both doing amazing jobs.
thank you.
Thank you for calling up, Yuli. Thank you so much.
Bye, ladies. Bye, sisters.
Bye. How you feeling, Mo?
I'm feeling okay.
You feeling okay?
Mhm.
I hope those are cleansing tears, maybe.
Yeah.
It's cleansing? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I hope it's cleansing tears and that you're realizing that you're not alone in the situation at all. You're not. You are absolutely not. Anybody else want to click in before we go? Anything else you want to say? Monique.
I just appreciate all the love and support. I'm glad that y'all were able to see a different side of me and get to know me better. And I just appreciate all the love and the advice that everybody gave me. And I didn't realize like how many people would relate to me.
Hmm. Yeah. And to be quite honest, there's some people out there that you may not necessarily like, and you got a very relatable story to them as well. They have a similar story, and we can talk about that later. But you definitely, there are some people out there where if you really took the time, that person you guys have similarities. And I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think you do, but I mean, you know, of course that can be for another day, but I think both of you guys truly have huge hearts, but it has definitely been through a lot. And, you know, try to hurt people or whatever the case may be. But again, in your time and in your recovery, definitely. But yeah, I just hearing the pain and the things that you really come off like you're a genuine sweet girl. But I also feel that same way about her as well. A genuine sweet girl who's was just as hurt in the situation. But eventually one day maybe that can be, you know, doesn't necessarily have to be mended, but it can be acknowledgement and being able to move forward, if you know what I mean.
I hear what you're saying.
Again, I didn't say today.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say, I'm just saying that based on what I am hearing, there are a lot of similarities. And I'm not even saying, I am being 100% a lot of similarities. You know what I mean? But one thing that I mean by that is always having to be the strong one. But who can you go to if you're always the one who is the strong one?
Right.
Those type of similarities. Going through so much in life. You know what I mean? Like a lot of similarities. And I think a lot of the times when we have that pain, we are quick to attack each other. We are quick to lash out at each other instead of loving on each other and being able to give people grace. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
I'm just saying, just with the conversation, I was just like, wow, there's a lot of similarities. Because now that I see this, I'm like, she's guarded. Monique is guarded because she has a big heart and she doesn't want to get burned. But that heart is there. That love is there. You're just afraid because of what you've been through for so long. Not just in 2017, but you have been through some stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know what you said, that's 17, 18, but my gut tells me there's been other things that you're going through too. And because you have a big heart, you sound like an empath. You take on a lot of people's energies. You know what I mean? Good and bad.
Yeah.
So, you know, because I'm an empath, which is why I got to be very careful about the energies that I take on. And sometimes I have to just distance myself because it's too much. But yeah, so you know, but I'm just saying, I'm not trying to create some type of peace party in a sense, but eventually maybe that's just something you could think about. And I know you know what I'm talking about. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I hope the right person though. You know I ain't talking about that person.
I just feel like if I'm trying to move on and heal from that situation, like it's no need to try to mend that
Nope.
situation.
I'm not saying mend. You don't have to mend.
But even
But
so, that can also be triggering to me.
no. I didn't say mend though. I'm saying accept. Here's the thing. I can accept when I tried to hurt someone because I was hurt and accept that and learn from it, then and be able to move on. Like you don't have to mend anything. There doesn't have to be a friendship. You see what I mean? It's just about accepting and the accountability of things. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying. I don't know who this Chris Dewitt is, but at the end of the day, did I drag Monique for months? I think Monique knows that. Monique, did I drag you for months?
Sure did.
Okay. Monique, do you accept that tonight and the day a couple days before? Do you feel I'm being genuine right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris DeWitt, you got anything else to say? Anything else to say? Because I've never denied that. I literally said we have come a long way because it was not pretty for a while. So I like at the end of the day, you can come in here and talk mess if you want to. Oh, okay, you got timed out. Thank you, mods. Appreciate it. But it's no issue for me to say I've never said, you know what I'm saying, I've always been Team Monique. That's never come out of my mouth. What I am saying is that to hear her be vulnerable in this interview helps me understand her and helps me understand that a lot of the times when you have gone through stuff and you lash out in a bad way is because you can't process the grief and the things that you've gone through. And she's going through that process to heal. I can sit up there and forgive anyone in a situation, or I can sit up there and accept anyone who's willing to change. Anyone. So moving on. Look, anything else? You know, these random folks coming up in here now. I don't know who they are, but it is what it is. Now, Monique, would you like to say anything? As I was saying before.
Regarding to that situation, I'm okay with leaving things where they're at right now.
You can't, I mean, I look, I'm not trying to pressure you to do anything, but I'm just saying there are a lot of similarities in a sense of having a big heart and always having to be the strong person.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, if you feel like it's gonna trigger you, if you feel like it's gonna cause some type of situation, by all means. But I just again, because yes, I understand that, GG, but at the same time, again, I have literally looked at all of these ladies and looked at the common denominator in the situation. I am just saying that because I got to keep it real. That's just who I am. I got to keep it real in a situation. And I see similarities, but no one's
Well,
telling
I'm
you,
confused. Are you like? I'm not sure who you're talking about at this point.
oh, you don't.
I don't know. I'm kind of confused now.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have to talk behind the scenes then, because I'm not talking about him. You
Right, but
gotta,
are you talking about somebody related to him?
yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we were talking about the same person,
Okay.
right? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
No,
wanted to
'cause
make sure
you,
you weren't talking about nobody else. That's why I was like,
no,
girl.
no, 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 no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about the women in this situation.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, but they gonna be saying no energy, right? You know, but I gotta keep it real because again, everybody knows on this channel, you know what I'm saying, I have love for her as well. You know what I mean? You know, I do. So I can't sit up there and act like, you know what I'm saying, I don't. I do. You know what I mean? So, but with that being said, you don't have to do anything that you feel like whatever your healing process is, that's your healing process. And no one is saying that you have to do anything. I'm just saying there's similarities. No, we're not talking about no one else. We're not, because I had already told her we ain't talking about that at all whatsoever. So, but now, you can do this. Oh, okay. See, people are still, we had a positive. Oh, nah, I wasn't, child. I was not. I was not talking about, yeah, absolutely not. We had a very, very positive chat tonight. And I literally had all of these questions, and I think I asked the majority of the questions. But I wanted this to be a safe space for you. I hope it was a safe space for you. Did you feel it was a safe space?
Yeah, I felt safe space.
Okay, see, that's good. And again, I want this to be a safe space for all. You know what I mean? This is, this is just an example, but I want this to be a safe space for all. I am willing to forgive and literally meet people where they are if they are willing to move forward. Just like if I'm willing to move forward, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? By far, I'm going to make mistakes. So at the end of the day, this is a safe space for us. And I feel like this was very, very powerful. I really hope that there are some people who hear this and they can receive healing from the situation. You always gonna have some negative folks, but at the end of the day, as you can see, the people who were meant to be in this live tonight were here. They were here. And you have a lot of people rooting for you, Monique. You do. So I would definitely, like, within a couple of months or so, just so people are aware and they can just kind of all be able to talk to you on a platform, just to kind of see your progression and see where you are in a couple of months. You know what I mean? Oh, somebody wants to come up. Somebody wants to come up. Okay. Hey, Marsh.
Hey everyone, this is Marsha from Geo's channel.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, hi,
I'm
Chris Nicole. First and foremost, I respect your channel and I love your commentary and how you deliver your message and you like your own inner Ayala Vanzette, and I love it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Did you have anything else to say?
I do. Mo, I know we've been rough over there in Geo channel a couple times with comments, but I just want to say I can appreciate how you take things in and how you allow things to process. And I think you've grown a lot from this experience. And I just want to say we recognize that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. I also wanted to say that last live on Geo's channel. Um,
Marsha, here's the thing.
mhm.
You've said Gio's name about 5 times. You already
Oh, is
said
there a problem?
you already said you on Gio's channel. Just go ahead and speak your piece. Most people on here are familiar with Gio.
Oh, I didn't know that it was a problem to say his name at all.
I did, but it seems like you're purposely saying his name a lot right now.
Actually, not. I was just referring to the last live where I saw Mo.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and say what you speak your piece.
Yeah, I'm actually done at this point because I didn't this energy and I didn't realize that this was the energy. I thought this was like a sort of like a sister channel to him and that
Well,
you're a moderator there.
with that being said, if that's the case, that's fine. But in the chat, you can possibly see what's going on. But with that being said, then if
Oh,
that's
I
the case,
didn't recognize that energy at all.
okay.
So
Well, you have a wonderful
if
evening. Okay.
yeah,
Next.
What just happened?
Yeah. It just seems like, because there's, of course, with some things that went on before, I feel like at this point, Marsha may not need to be on here. So, with that being said, anybody else would like to come up?
I'm so lost.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are lost.
Yeah.
Anyone else would like to come up?
But I do remember seeing her on there, so that's why
Yeah, she is. She
I
is. But I feel like at the end of the day, there's low key people being messy. So it is what it is. With that being said, would anybody else like to come up? Yeah, exactly. So, with that being okay, so Lizette. Hey Lizette.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
I'm
Hi.
good. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to say that, Mo, you can definitely do this. God's grace and forgiveness is beyond our understanding.
Aw.
And you definitely got this. And regardless of the obstacles that you have faced, speaking from experience, time heals all. So just trust and believe that on those days that you feel as though no one cares and no one's in your corner, just remember that God is always comforting those that are suffering. So just hold on to that and ask for His strength and not our understanding, but His. There's a reason and a purpose for your life, and just trust in that.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet.
You're welcome. And Chris Nicole, this was an awesome, awesome interview.
Thank you, Lizette. You sound so sweet. Thank you so much. Are you new here?
Yes, I've listened in before, but this is the first time that I've been able to catch the live while it's happening because I'm at work. So as I'm tuning in, I'm like, yes, she's still live.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Because I was like, I don't think I've seen your name before, but I appreciate you.
Yes, no, this was very empowering for all women, regardless of our ethnicity and our background. This was very powerful for all women, and we need to continue to stand together, united for one another. And this was just an awesome live. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. You ladies have a wonderful evening, and everyone else in the chat.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You as well.
Let's get some sage. Here's the thing, you guys, and I'm you know what? I'm transparent as hell. Here's the thing. As you guys know, the live that transpired a couple of days ago was not the best live. And at the end of the day, you can see people in the chats and certain things that people may say or whatever the case may be. And the reality is, I don't want the mess on my channel. I want to move on in a positive light, and I want to be able to keep pushing forward. So at the end of the day, you guys may not really understand it, but what I gathered from that situation was someone was trying to be messy. That's just it.
Are you talking about when me and Derek was on your channel? That was messy to you?
It wasn't a good in the beginning before when you were talking. When you were talking is different, but in the beginning of that, it wasn't good. It just wasn't. So at the end of the day, I don't want that type of energy. And I feel like the reality is what just happened, someone was trying to be messy. Maybe she wasn't, but for me, the vibe was not well. And I want this to be a positive situation. That's all. And I want to be able to move forward in a positive light and be able to have lives that are consistently positive like this. That's all. So that's just all it is. You know, that's what I want. So again, people may not be able to understand it, but it's for my understanding at this point. Some people get it, some people don't, which I totally get. Exactly. Sometimes it's just best, but unfortunately, I have no choice but to address it now because, of course, it just seems like it's a little crazy right now. But it is what it is. Sometimes some of you guys know, some of you guys don't. But I want to be able to move forward in a positive light. Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, anybody else want to come up? Mo, I hope you're still in good energy vibes.
Yeah, I'm good. I was just confused.
Yeah, and it probably, you know, thank you, Gigi, and I don't know what you're saying right to Kaden, Sugar Mama, but yeah, I appreciate it.
Yes, I've been to Navy Pier in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the girls that get it. Exactly, Nene. Yeah, they get it. So at the end of the day, yeah, Mo and I had good vibes. We had great vibes. Mickey, we had great vibes tonight. Exactly. And all of you guys did have great vibes in here. We had a couple of people in here that didn't, but at the same time, for the most part, we did. And we're going to keep those positive vibes when we sign off tonight. That's what it's about. And again, you see how sometimes people try to steer you in another direction, Mo? You get it right back to the direction you want to go into. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do. You keep those positive vibes. With that being said, any final questions or anybody else who wants to come up? Anybody else? Anybody else? Mickey said, Mo, so do you like us now? That's what her question is. She said, Mo, do you like us now? But yeah, but you know what? Look, at the end of the day, there will have been a lot of things that have been said on the negative side. I get it. This is, I would say, if anything, this is a step forward, positive step forward for all of us. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Positive step forward. And again, sit up there and we will continue to, check in, have positive vibes and all of that stuff. Exactly. No negative energy needed. Anybody else? It seems like everybody else was able to say what they wanted to say. I'm gonna post it again, but yeah, we keep it positive over here. Like we're gonna not deter to negativity and keep it there. We take it right back to where we need to have it. If not, I will definitely let Monique go because I know it's late. Monique, thank you so much for taking the time out to actually be able to listen to us, and then for us to, of course, listen to you and you told your story. It was, oh man, like you got me shook over here. The fact that you was willing to open up so much. I really appreciate it. I think you're gonna heal a lot of people, including yourself. And I can't wait to hear about your journey. I really can't. So with that being said, I can let you go and then I can see what's going on with my Chris crew over here. But do you have any final words?
Well, thank you for all the wonderful kind of advice that you gave me. You've definitely been good help on my healing journey. So I'm definitely taking in everything that you're saying. And it was great. I love all the love and the support everybody gave tonight. It was great. I'm happy that I was finally able to open up to y'all. And, you know, hopefully, we can continue to do more lives like this. And, you know, I love y'all. It was great.
Oh, see? That's what, oh, Mo. Look, everybody in there, I don't know who this person is, but we appreciate you. We really do. We appreciate you, Mo. With that being said, you have a wonderful evening. She like us, y'all. Y'all are hilarious. Hearts in here, love lights, all that good stuff. Have a wonderful evening, Mo.
Thanks. Good night, y'all.
Good night. All right, Chris Crew, chat, all of that good stuff with that. Here she go with her Gigi and her Leo. Hit, you guys, just ignore it. Just ignore it. At the end of the day, you're always gonna have those people. You're always gonna have those people. So just ignore it. It was a positive. It was a positive live, and we just gonna keep it that way. You know what I mean? And we just gonna go onward and upward, and it is what it is. So anybody have any final words? Anybody want to say? Or it looks like exactly. I don't have. I forgive all. Can we do a live like this once a month? Absolutely. I think we should. I was thinking. I was literally thinking that way in the process. We need to have kind of like those sister healing circles, even if it's just to talk about things we're going through or positive. Like I did try to do like the positive. Anybody want me to post positive things? But maybe we can do that in maybe we can do that as far as the lives are concerned. Yeah, the devil does work overtime. Yeah, for real. But at the end of the day, we gotta just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Oh, you're 16, Latrice? Yeah. You guys, thank you so much. I love y'all. I love y'all, like, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. I do love y'all. I actually do see, the problem is I do, Marsha, but you know what? I'm not gonna even entertain this right now, because I mean, at the end of the day, most of the people who came up here, we clearly know they came from his live. So I don't know what your anger was. Maybe you are genuinely confused. Maybe we can have a private conversation about it, but it's, at this point, it's a done deal. I'm leaving this on a positive note. So anybody else final words? All right. Well, with that being said, you guys, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. And you guys have a wonderful evening. Toodles, toodles, toodles. Love ya, love ya. Good night. Good night.